Like, if it's not, that they just haven't thought of it yet?
And we're back. With the discussion about Nutella, Cadbury eggs. So, who wants to go first with their presentation to their team about their something that really deeply interests them?
Ooh, I'd like to go first.
Okay.
So, greetings, everyone. My name is Erasmus Sweetleaf, and I'm here to talk to you about an exciting topic that just may change your life the way it changed mine. I'm talking about the sleep spell and its components. I grew up as an elf. I was one of the lucky ones. And, we are immune to sleep magic. So I was fascinated by sleep and the many uses of the sleep spell. One of the most important things that I can relay about the sleep spell is the use of components. Now, components are the little boobahs and things that they have with magical spells that allow them to work. They're a way to break the barrier between our reality and the weave all around us. Is the weave the term they use in this?
No, the ether.
Wrong.
Ether is the term
ether
that we use. Yeah.
Okay, the ether. So, just imagine you go to cast a spell to put someone to sleep, and then you pull out a bottle of ink, and all of a sudden it gets dark, because that's the components for darkness. So, in order to efficaciously cast a sleep spell, it's important to have those components. Now, what are the things we think about when they're asleep? Who can tell me something they think about when they think about sleep? Anyone?
Quiet.
One at a time. I didn't expect so much excitement. Who went first?
The tall warrior over there.
Nice. You think about the tall warrior? Oh, how?
No. I think about chamomile tea. I don't think about warriors.
Excellent.
Not a warrior, BT dubs. Quiet. There doesn't seem to be a lot of that around here, unfortunately.
I don't know what a BT dubs is.
By the way.
Oh.
You must be a little bit older than me, huh?
I'm not hip to the modern lingo.
How old are you?
70? Anyway.
Okay.
So, chamomile seems like a great thing, right? It is. It's delicious. It puts one to sleep. But here's the problem. When going to cast sleep, you're going to have to brew a chamomile tea. You might get it on yourself, and then you'll screw up the casting because you burnt yourself with chamomile tea. So chamomile seems like a good choice, but we've got to keep simplicity the same. So, can anybody tell me a common saying that goes when people are trying to go to sleep? And I make ba gestures. Ba.
Count sheep.
Counting sheep?
Counting sheep, that's right. That's a common phrase for counting sheep. So, sheep have fur. Oh, that fleece? So I pull out a piece of fleece and I go, this is fleece. That comes from sheep that one counts when you go to sleep. Now, what's another thing we think of? And I hum Mr. Sandman.
Hey,
really
careful. Content ID.
Okay. So, because the metaphor is Sandman, the other thing is sleep. So, we use sand. And you want to get a nice grade, because if you're going to throw it at somebody, you don't want it to be a thick particle and get stuck in their eye and keep them out of there. But our two representations of sleep make the spell just that more efficacious. And that's important. So, I hope you enjoyed my presentation on the material components of the sleep spell. I look forward to casting it on you.
Those sound like deadweight words.
I really try not to shoot a look back.
All right, who's next? Actually, before we do that, can I have everybody give me an int check? Okay. If you're the person telling the story, you do not need to do the int check. So for this one, you will not need the int check, Charles. All right. So, Constog, you were having a bit of trouble keeping your attention on this one. Something about this just seemed boring. Who wants to go next?
That was dynamic.
What did any of that even mean?
The real sleep spell was the presentation.
What's the Sandman?
Oh, I know who the dead weight in this party is. The people who don't know what a sleep spell is.
Is the Sandman gonna come for me at some point if I fall asleep? Shit, I can't sleep for the next 3 days.
And what did he mean? He was gonna put me to sleep. Is that a part of the presentation? Is he gonna do that sometime? Just spontaneously? We're gonna be walking down the street and he's just gonna put me to sleep?
It's okay. It's okay. I got you. I won't let him put you to sleep.
Okay, thanks.
Putting
I'm
to sleep
pretty
is
convinced
being,
I did a great.
putting to sleep being the euphemism for also killing an animal that's old or infirm.
All right, who wants to give their presentation next?
Boy, all these dead weights give me crap, and I don't see them stepping up.
You know, it's probably important that I go since my topic is super important and relevant.
All right, let's hear your presentation on taking notes.
All right. So notes are very, very important because they help you remember information that you would otherwise have forgotten, and it's important that you remember important things. So there are various strategies on note-taking.
And what are those strategies, dear sister?
Well, there's something called Cornell notes. Basically, when you take your notes and you get all the important information down, and then eventually you want to go over it again with repetition. And when you do that, you want to highlight important information. You want to make a summary at the bottom to make sure you understood everything. Ask yourself questions so that your information can answer, and stuff like that. And that'll help you remember things. Because that's what notes are ultimately for. Remembering things.
All right. And let's get an intel check to see how well people remember it.
Can you roll for me, Steve? I'm having some difficulties here.
Yeah. Well, can you bring the sheet up yourself? Because if you can bring the sheet up yourself, you can go ahead and grab down a d20 and make the roll on your end. Manually. But if the sheet won't come up, then I will hit it for you. Is it not coming up?
You're muted, Charles.
I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry.
It's okay. Are you able to get it up? Phrasing. So what are you even doing? Sorry, I'll give you the roll, Charles. Hang on. Alright, you're fine. I need to take notes for a sec. No reason whatsoever.
I feel like you're definitely biasing towards her already, jeez.
Alright, who's next?
Don't you have to question some of what we remember based on these rolls?
Not yet.
You did for the other one.
No, I didn't. I was just making up some things to go along with it. You're all sure you remember it just fine.
Okay.
Constag botched, so Constag is definitely not going to remember any of it. The other numbers can make there's a bit of wiggle room there.
Because it was a 4.
Yes. Well, because she rolled a 1 on the die. So, who's next? 2 more presentations to give. 3 more presentations to give.
I can go.
All right.
So something really important to keep in mind if you want to do well in school, which is presumably why you're here, is in order to take care of your mind, you have to take care of your body. So that means eating plant-based foods, and one of the easiest, cheapest, and most efficient ways to take care of your body is through smoothies. There are lots of different options. You can have them any color of the rainbow you want. Lots of options for protein, so plant-based yogurts, chia seeds, oats, almonds. You got lots of flexibility. There are these mason jars that are pretty hip these days, so you can just pack all your ingredients in there when you prep them, put it all in the freezer, just pull it out and blend it up. Makes it real fast, so you don't have to, take too long of a break from studying, and then you can drink it right from the jar, so you're not wasting containers. So, it's really, really the best way to take care of yourself, and easy, cheap, tasty, any color you want. Because if you come to class and you're hungry, you're not going to remember a damn thing. So make sure you take care of your body to take care of your mind.
So, in this particular case, can I have Nikolai give me an intimidate check?
You sure can.
Because in my mind, I picture Nikolai giving one of those, like, you gotta take care of your body, man. Your body's important.
Like Hulk Hogan talking about Slim Jim.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan.
So yeah, I would say that that's pretty memorable. Is you tell everybody that they really need to get on this plant-based diet, and smoothies
Really
are the number
fucking
one to get
important.
there.
Plus, they're delicious, guys. Okay, just
Niev looks slightly horrified, like she's like, "Oh my god!" Like
I brought samples.
Ooh, samples.
If I don't
Yeah.
have a smoothie tomorrow, is he gonna kill me?
I'm
Wow,
gonna
I
give.
like that. People are afraid of the Sandman, but we get threatened with smoothies. Oh, that's fine.
I'm gonna give everybody a sample of a different flavored smoothie to try because I'm not generous.
Well, thank you very much. This is delicious.
You're welcome, little lady.
And on that note, that segues very nicely into my presentation.
Go ahead.
So, Niev will get up. She plans to use her either charisma or diplomacy to aid her with her presentation. So she says, now, these smoothies, they're just amazing. Like, that they are full of nutrition, and they're just all full of the goodness the earth gives us. And the best way to grow those things is with a nice, healthy compost. It's great. It's great for the planet because you're not wasting all those little scraps that you otherwise would just throw away. And so I'm here today to tell you about how composting can help your life. And so first of all, there are certain things that you want to not throw away, and that is any kind of vegetation, like, your scraps from making dinner, not meat, just the plant, stuff.
Well, you don't need to eat meat in the first place, so.
Exactly. So in your case, everything that you eat, any kind of scraps left over from when you're preparing your food, you can compost that.
Oh, you got a good point. I'm on board.
Awesome. So then the other thing is if any of you have eggs are compostable, and the calcium from the shell of an egg will also help enrich your compost. So what you want to do is you want to place all of that in a barrel or sack or some kind of container. You want to stir that. I would recommend with some sort of long tool, so you're not just, getting your hands into decomposing scraps, but you want to stir that. You can put worms in there. They help eat some of the waste and they produce nitrogen and they enrich your soil. And so if you keep doing this every day, then when it comes time to plant more food, or say if you want to grow potatoes or corn to make alcohol for your parties, then you have a rich base that will give your plants lots of nutrients.
All right, go ahead and give me a diplomacy to follow that up. I will still need int checks though from the party unless she crits it. Nope.
Dang.
All right, int checks, everybody.
Oh,
Trent remembers that party was used.
Alcohol.
All right, Nikolai, as much as you might have liked the idea of composting, you just heard this is the one I could easily turn into a vegetarian.
I know it all.
All right. Last but not least, Trent, what are you teaching the team?
Well, you guys are real painful to look at. So, in order to make my life better, I think I'm going to have to teach you guys about fashion.
So this is the dead weight the professor was referring to then?
So Nia has like tears welled up in her eyes, and when she hears him say that, she's like, I think so.
So,
old dick.
I may be new to town, but the first thing I made sure to do was to find a good tailor. Now I'm going to give all you guys the address. Go there. Please. I beg you.
You're a college kid, dude. Nobody cares what the fuck you're wearing.
So, that is very wrong. When looking at how you guys do you really think anyone can take you guys seriously? Absolutely not. You need to keep up with the latest trends.
I think you should call them trend.
Oh, Charles.
That's good. I think you should.
Yeah,
I like to keep up with the latest hot trends in fashion.
But yeah, step number 1, go to my tailor. Best in town.
What's step number 2?
There isn't one.
I don't throw up every time I see them. That's step 2.
Does your tailor pay you to like endorse him or something?
Yeah, but
Uh-huh. I see.
but you guys need it. Trust me.
All right. Let me have everybody give me an intelligence check.
Can I purposely fail this one? Is that a possibility?
Find out local trends in your area. You can choose to fail it if you want, yes. You don't need to choose to, though. You did anyway.
Perfect.
Apparently he really hurt Comstock's feelings. She's like,
Yeah, that's what I remember. But he's mean and a jerk.
All right.
Don't worry, no one cares what he thinks. Thank God I'm not rooming with him, though, damn.
My dear that can gore people cares what he thinks.
Hear what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, so the 5 of you meet up a few days later for class. Unless any of you in between there has anything specific you want to do, like maybe trying to reinforce your ideas on the other person, or on some of the other people.
I will take everyone samples of my compost.
Ooh, maybe we can start like a community garden at school and grow our fresh fruits and veggies for smoothies.
There's already a community garden.
Wonderful.
Oh, well then we can get our own beds there. Are there beds open?
In the community garden?
Yeah.
No. They have an actual community garden. I don't know what you're... I've never seen a garden where you can...
You get like your own little plot.
Oh, where you plot. I'm sorry. I'm thinking plot. I'm sorry. I'm not used to it being referred to as a bed. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
you could actually then.
I want to use some of our compost and get myself a couple beds.
Okay. It's one per person. They're usually a pretty like hot commodity because there are a lot of druids or other like herbalists that like to use the space.
Hey Erasmus, can I get a bed for my roomie then?
I was gonna say when he tells me about it, I will also want to go get a bed.
Okay.
So is there like an art class I can like commission some drawings from?
There is indeed an art class with a bunch of like artists who are just looking to like have somebody do something with the art that they're doing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna purchase the services of some art students.
Okay.
In order to, I'm gonna describe each of these guys and have them do like a drawing, and then I'm going to essentially like do a little clothing design of what I think each one should wear.
Okay.
To bring to them.
So let me see how well this artist ends up doing.
Is it like a gold or how
yeah, you can pay it. It's going to be very cheap, so you can pay them a couple of silvers. They'll do it for because they want the exposure.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so you get paintings done that to you look just like the party members, totally like the party members. Are you bringing them to class? Or are you going to try to meet up with them in between?
I was gonna bring it to class.
Okay. So the day of class, you all meet up at your assigned tables, and Trent has like some pictures that he's had somebody drawn of everyone. How are you like giving these out to the party as you arrive?
I'm setting it in front of each one of them. Their picture. All right.
These pictures, by the way, look nothing like any of you.
So here's the designs. This is what you need to take to the tailor. He'll know what to do.
So when Niev gets hers, she says, "Oh, how thoughtful!" And she will take her compost that she had brought with her and just like smear it on his clothes and be like, "There, all better," and like sort of throw the drawing away.
I'm going to be gracious. This is very thoughtful of you. And later on, there will be a fire.
Hey, Niev, can this go in your compost pile if I tear it into little pieces? Can you compost the paper?
I don't. You know what? I like the fire idea, and then we can take the ash and add it to the compost pile.
Okay, I'm down with that.
All right. So the way I'm going to do this is I am going to roll a d4 for each party member other than you to see who ends up having to regurgitate. If you failed, come up with your own idea for what you think the other person said. If you succeeded, just give me some brief details about what the other person said. So we're going to start with Trent first. Trent, your subject is Comstog. And you failed against Comstog.
So taking boats, I believe they go out on the water and I just stare blankly after trailing off.
You could have gone with goats, but I gotta tell you, boats was so much better. boats was so good. Taking boats?
The professor looks over and shakes his head. Somebody did not properly manage their dead weight. Have a seat, Trent. Next is... I'm doing this in the order counterclockwise on my... on what I see for Zoom anyway. So that's going to be Nikolai. And Nikolai, you are going to be talking about... the lecture given by Erasmus.
Yeah, he was real into talking about the materials that make up sleep, and you know, it's so fleece like the sheep that you think of. Something's really loud in the background.
Yeah.
And sand, like the Sandman. So those are good components to do a sleep spell.
I'm pretty satisfied with that result.
All right, Niev, you will be handling the presentation of... We did that. Trying to remember whose presentations we did. Shoot, I just... Okay, no, we did that. So
I love taking boats.
You'd be doing Nikolai's presentation.
Oh, okay. So
especially one potato.
So Nikolai was telling us all about his
it's just got the greatest line. There were potatoes in the road.
I think, Charles, you're still muted here, or unmuted here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Nikolai was giving us his wonderful smoothie recipe. He was telling us about, all these seeds and berries. Like you can put chia seeds in there. You can put, almonds in there. Some non-dairy yogurt, and it's not even like animal based. It's all plant based, and it's, I tried the smoothie. I like the smoothie, and I've been doing. I've been actually having smoothies the past couple of days, and they are really, really good.
Excellent. Next up, we have Erasmus. I guess this leaves him to either Trent or Niev. So, Erasmus, you are presenting about Niev.
So this lecture, despite being well done, filled me with dismay. And it was about composting and how, those things that you think to throw away that are scraps from your food can be composted. And then one involves worms, which is unspeakable. And they slowly break down into their matter, and then they're good for spreading on your gardens. And then you wonder why you don't have servants to do such horrible, horrible things. And it is good for the planet, which I will totally take that person's word for it. That's probably true. But I can't say I was a fan of composting. Excellent lecture, but not going to be doing any composting anytime soon.
All right. Very good. And Constag, you are telling everybody about Trent's perspective and interests.
Well, Trent was a jerk, and he basically insulted our fashion sense, and gave us the information for his tailor, and told us we all need to get better outfits.
Charles, you want to mute real quick?
Because apparently our outfits aren't good enough for him, and we're awful to look at.
I nod.
Don't forget that he's getting paid to endorse his tailor.
And he's getting paid to endorse his fucking tailor.
It's not an inaccurate representation.
Also, there's...
No, don't die. Also, there's what? You cut out after you said also there's...
there's this. I just hold up the picture you had commissioned. You're trying to freaking plan our outfits? Because that's so important, I guess.
Very good, thank you. So a few of the other groups do their presentations as well, and overall, like, many of the groups kind of get it, kind of manage to do things pretty well. By the end, the party will receive a B. You only had 1 out of the 5 of you managed not to remember things properly, and of course it has written on it. When he hands back, basically each of you had to like submit a little synopsis of what it was you were interested in to the professor, and when it gets handed back to each of you, he's like, next time, to the 4 of you that are not Trent, it has written on it, next time, remember the obvious deadweight and make sure he gets it. And Trent, on your paper, it just has 80%. You did better than I expected. The next class, the rest of the class, after the presentations, he gives a little bit of a lecture on what the value of your spellcasters are that are creating damage or causing interference in combat. Ways that you can like provide protection for them, or why it's important that somebody be ahead of them at all times, and the important designation between somebody who's being effective on the battlefield and somebody who's just singing a song in the corner trying not to get hit. By the end of the class, for your next assignment, I want to keep this a little easy. The last one required you all to remember quite a bit. I would like each of you to identify a way. Charles, can you mute real quick?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I would like each of you to identify a way that you can improve on your dead weight. Or, if you do not believe yourself to be the dead weight, I want you to identify to me, I want you to present to me why it is you do not believe you are the dead weight. This will be a 3-page paper. It is suggested that you corroborate it with your cohorts and make sure that you're all on roughly the same page. That being said, your papers should not be the same, and there should be some differences of opinion in each paper, but you should have a cohesive idea. And dependent upon the difference between all of you and your dead weight, I will determine your grade. Good luck.
So we're going to write as a group, even though they're different papers, about the party member we think is dead weight, how to improve them, and then that party member who we conclude is the dead weight is going to have to write a paper explaining how they're not dead weight.
Yes.
Am I correct?
That is correct.
Fantastic.
So, who does this party think is the dead weight, and how do you begin a conversation about this? Because all of you should be presenting your ideas to each other. All of you should be discussing things. So you all can probably meet up to work on this assignment once again in the library.
Yeah, well, the dead weight's probably not going to show up.
So I think we can all agree that there are 4 dead weights on this team.
I think that rather the dead weight is the one that doesn't know what class that they're taking.
Yeah, that only got into college because his family is money.
They can afford a personal tailor, you know?
They can
Tom's character
afford a
has a
nice
picture.
big bribe.
Tom's character has a picture of himself in a rowing skiff. You know what I mean? With just his head added onto it. What? I was an athlete in high school.
All right, so obviously Trent is the dead weight. What can we do to make him not so terrible?
Well, we should list what his strengths are and play to his strengths.
Well, that's so nice of you. Do you have any ideas?
Well, for instance, he obviously thinks rather a lot of himself. So if you want him to perform, then, give him encouragement. Say, oh, only you can heal our party.
So I don't mean to be rude. What does Trent do?
Gives fashion advice, apparently.
He wears robes, so I think he's some sort of caster.
Was I able to ascertain what kind of caster he was, Steve?
No, there's
Right,
been
looking
no like sign of that right now. Thus far, he's not cast any spells, or if he has, they've been in his own private time. For all you know, he's a blue mage.
Did
Oh, good God.
Did Trent actually show up to the study session, or is he just like in his room saying, "I think there's 4 dead weights"?
No, I feel like Trent would have showed up and legitimately been like,
Yeah, that was the first thing that was said at this meeting.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Trent came in. There are 4 dead weights on this, and I'd like the 4 of you to explain to me why you are not the dead weight.
So what does Trent think whenever we're talking about him being dead weight?
Trent, what do you think?
Oh, meta.
Hello. Earth
Yeah,
to Trent.
You guys don't know what you're talking about.
All right, why don't you just sit over here in the corner
But
and
that's
be quiet
expected
for a
from
little
the
bit.
dead weights.
So I'm gonna look over at Trent and I'll be like, "So what is it that you do here exactly?"
Well, I go to university. What do you mean? What do I do?
What sort of talents do you have?
Very presumptuous question. Trent, are you listening? Jesus.
My notes are
I'm
waiting.
waiting for you guys to explain why you're not the dead weights first.
Because each of us know at
Because
least
I
what.
see 4 dead weights.
So Trent, being that I am one of the dead weights, what could you do that you do specifically that would help me be less of the dead weight that I supposedly am?
I love the speed of that speech, making sure he catches it.
All right, well, we're gonna have to go on a little field trip, guys. Come on and follow me. I'm taking them to my tailor.
Oh my god!
No.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't tell you where he's going, will you follow him if he says like he's going to show you his value?
I will 100% follow him. My character is a bookish type. He's just going to go with it and think, oh, he must be showing me something. I've never been to his tailor. I would have no way to know. So I'm going to, like a dumbass, follow him to his tailor and probably not catch on until we're standing literally in front of the shop and go, oh, it's his tailor.
Yeah, I think anybody without ranks and sense motive isn't really going to identify what
It's
what
a
his
fair
plan
cop.
is.
He's totally gonna fool us. Unless, yeah.
Does anybody have any ranks and sense motive? There we go. Yeah, Niev, you get the idea that, like, this feels like a setup. Like he's gonna show you something, but so far the only thing he showed you is the card for his tailor.
BF just goes, oh, he's taking us to his tailor.
Do you still
I
follow
told
along?
you guys are very.
I am just perplexed by this whole thing, and I'm not sure whether or not I should go to the tailor, because I feel like at this point we might as well go because it just gets it out of the way. And maybe if we go to the tailor, it will end the charade.
So a new line of thought occurs to Neve, and so she kind of rolls her eyes and she's like, "It's okay, guys. He probably doesn't have any casting ability anyway. I doubt that he could actually cast as much as a single spell."
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, clearly he doesn't have any magical abilities.
I assumed none of you did.
Really? Trent's not going to respond to this?
Well, if you guys are following me to the tailor, no, I'm too excited to potentially get rid of these eyesores, man.
He is achieving his objective. I've got nowhere to go. So, you study magic like myself, Trent?
So is this conversation happening on the way to the tailor? Is anybody
Yeah,
stopping him from guiding
I'm
you to the
gonna try
tailor?
it out. You know what I mean? I want to get a good grade. I'm a grade grubber. You know
Okay.
what I mean? My grade is in his hands, unfortunately. You know what I mean? If I have to buy a suit, this is what it takes. Erasmus does what it takes.
So as soon as I figured out that we were going to the tailor, I would have stopped and made that comment about he can't even cast a
Mhm.
spell probably anyway, and
Okay.
then I would have been like, kind of like, I'm not going to go any further.
Yeah, that does change my action. I guess I'm just gonna stop there too, kind of looking confused.
All right, fine. I'll cast a spell if we can continue.
What do you cast? Spell. I'll do a spell.
So, well, are spells allowed in this?
I mean, as long as you're not attempting to like hurt anybody or like you're not doing anything against somebody that they don't agree to.
I cast explosive
Okay.
runes. No,
Yeah. I mean, I'll.
What gets cast?
I mean, so
Warden Kanan's disjunction.
I'll go ahead and cast a mage armor.
All right. He touches his chest and like his chest starts to glow and like starts to fill the rest of his body with the glowing armor.
I mean,
Erasmus?
of course you cast something that's gonna change how you look, dude. Can you do anything else?
Erasmus, you would recognize this as mage armor.
Mage. He's casting mage armor. Which means he's a potential arcane spellcaster of some sort.
All right, guys, let's go.
I feel obligated to go buy a suit now because he did cast the spell.
Okay. Can I have everybody give me an int check with that though as you're traveling? There's a bit of a realization that might kick in here based on what you've acquired from your learning.
I got a 15.
So, Erasmus, you would realize that casting mage armor is exactly the kind of spell that the deadweight caster would definitely have in his repertoire. The kind of spell that protects only him and no one else.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a dramatic recreation. He casted mage armor.
Is deadweight a class?
It is. It will be by Friday because that's what I'm going to be working on. The deadweight class.
Oh, that'll be
One
great.
spell,
It gets bardic music, but the bardic music doesn't give any benefits to anyone. It gives you like an AC bonus. Like every skill effect gives you an AC bonus or some way to not be seen or
Yeah, it's so self-protective. You know what I mean? Like he gets a bonus to abjuration spells that protect him. You know what I mean?
It also gets stealth as a class feature. Like,
Yeah. All right, let's get this over with the suit because
All right.
see the bit through. I
the
got cash.
the five of you arrive at the tailor. Now, Trent, are you paying for people to see the tailor, or
yeah, I was paying for their clothes, the clothes that I had designed. I
Okay.
need them custom fitted. I don't, because I don't trust these guys to pick out their own clothes.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
So the way I'm gonna work this
God.
with Trent to some degree is
Oh,
that
God.
you're not fitting them for like designer clothes, right? You're just trying to fit them into
Right.
things that make them look better. So don't worry about the expenditures here. You put it on your family's like expense account that they gave you for like incidentals. And you're like, I'll just explain to the family later on like why it was so important that I saved these fashion rejects.
Yeah.
I think his family would understand.
His family won't at all understand, but they're supportive, and that's why they sent them to this place. So yeah, he buys you all some pretty like nice outfits. They fit well. They're comfortable. They look in fashion right now. Trent, go ahead and give me a knowledge nobility as you're looking over the four of them. Okay, that's an excellent check. You realize the next thing that is missing from at least two of the members of this party. Nikolai's hair looks like he literally just wakes up every day and goes to class. And Konstag's mane is just like everywhere. It looks like a lion that just got in a fight with like an antelope. And clearly this lion is like losing that battle. You notice that, like, at the very least, Erasmus does something with his hair before he gets out for the day. But you do notice that that Niev, like, has her hair, like, really well put together. And it always seems very shiny, even if it doesn't necessarily look like anything's been added to it.
All right, guys. So we got another stop.
And where are we going?
Just follow me. I'm bringing him to the hairstylist.
Can I get another sense motive from people?
I don't even really have that as a skill.
That's
so.
fine. You're a low wisdom character. That's to be expected. So Niev, you're not exactly sure where he's taking you this time, but he definitely gave everybody like the once over. And now he's like suddenly proclaiming it's time to go somewhere else.
So Nia feels slightly less I'm gonna say angry or antagonistic towards Trent since he just bought her clothes, but she's still kind of suspicious. She's kind of like, this is another field trip.
These clothes, though, would probably feel weird on you, right? You're used to wearing, like, natural clothing, some leaf wear combined with maybe some, like, hides of animals that have passed away naturally. And here you are, like... Yeah, here you are wearing, like, cloth fabric made from God knows what.
Yeah,
Let's get this off.
I almost feel cold because it's like I'm used to having, like, fur, from that, and I'm just like...
I didn't get reincarnated for this.
But is everybody still going along with it?
I am, I guess.
Going along with going to the hair cutting place?
To the next place Trent is going to take you.
Trent, where are we going?
Well, we got another thing to take care of.
What is it?
Here, how about like before? You guys ask me one more question, and I'll answer it on the way there.
Where are we going?
That's your question?
Yep.
We're heading to the hairstylist. You guys still need to get your hairs done.
I have no hair, you doofus. What is gonna happen?
Well, they'll polish it up, look it real nice.
I'm not a bowling ball, Lord.
That's the style, though, right now. Having a nice, shiny chrome dome.
I'm not Mr. Clean either.
I thought you'd get rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Didn't you come to college to clean up things? Yeah,
trust me, they'll splash on some some nice smelling stuff. They'll make it all shiny. You'll look a lot better. You'll feel a lot better.
I look over at Neo. Are we really going along with this?
I shrug. I'm like, I guess. I kind of say, observing someone is a good way to figure out how to work with them.
All right, so the question was answered. Let's go.
Is Nikolai following along or still being evasive? Nikolai?
I mean, whatever. It's fine.
The four of you head over there. Trent, you go ahead and give me what are you suggesting be done for the party?
So we're looking to get their hair cleaned, styled. I know that they got like the styling books. I'll pick out something stylish for each of them.
Okay.
And like I said, I want Nikolai's head perfumed and and shiny.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just along for the ride.
All right. So Nikolai, you like kind of try to get out of it. How about you, Constog?
No, no one's touching.
Oh man, they're rejecting. They do not want you to change anything about their.
The dead weight. I'm not surprised. That's exactly how dead weight would act.
Neve pulls out a little jar, and she's like, "Actually, I make my own shampoo." And it's like some homemade stuff with like herbs and plants and stuff that
Bugs, probably.
That's why my hair is so shiny.
All right, so I'm gonna put them into the seats, and
I don't think you have the ability to just put them in the seats. I'm pretty sure Nikolai could just put you in a seat. I'm pretty sure Nikolai could make you into a seat.
all right, guys, come on. I just need you to do this one last thing for me.
So Neve will sit in the seat, even though she wasn't even the problem to begin with. She's like, I guess I'll do it. Whatever. See how it matches up to my herbal essence. It's not trademarked because it's only one essence.
They'll just give you a quick trim. The person cutting your hair and styling your hair is like, there's not really much I need to do with this. This is near perfect, although, what is this product you're using? It smells very strange. It smells like, have you been rolling around in the dirt as your shampoo?
Oh, it's just, a blend of all natural herbs and things like that, nourish the hair. And she'll pull the bottle out and let her like see it and smell it or whatever.
She like backs off a little bit. Okay, well, if it's working for you, it's working for you. But yeah, she'll give it a little trim, take out some of the take out a few of the split ends, give them the ability to kind of regrow and hopefully just sort of clean things up. But otherwise, not much to change here.
So, anyone else here team players, or is everyone else dead weights, as I suspected?
I mean, is there like a neck massage at least involved, or what's the deal?
I'm bringing you guys to a good place, so I'm sure that there is.
Fine, I'll sit down.
All right.
I'm just getting the haircut. You know what I mean? I'm just going along with this.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? Making
Neve
the best of it.
Sorry, I was gonna say Neve is like part of why she decided to go for it. Is she was like showing Comstock, see, look, nothing to be afraid of. It's okay. They're fine.
So Nikolai, your head comes out like shining. Light is just reflecting off it in all kinds of ways. This is the current trend, like having that nice, like they really make sure to rub some oils into your scalp and get your like head feeling nice. But it gives us like nice little sheen to the whole thing. And while they're doing it, there's a lot of like massaging your head, massaging in your neck, massaging
That's
in your
what I'm here for.
shoulders. Just making sure the oil gets in nice and clean. They in fact will offer you a full body massage if you want it.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
let's do it.
All right. You are escorted into the back for your full body massage. And you will come out shiny as your head afterwards. How about you, Constog?
Are you ready to enter one of the competitions, the bodybuilder competitions?
Where they have to oil up as much as possible through everything. Which is why you watch them get those big old handfuls of the stuff where they have those like gloves that are so thick they can't accidentally let go of something.
Well, no, I'm talking about the competitions, not where you're lifting, but where you're
where you're doing the
flexing.
posing.
Not the lifting.
Well, even still though,
competitions, but
even the
bodybuilder
lifting competitions, they still put on a lot of that oil for stuff. Because if you look, they still have like some sheen on their body, and I know not all of that is sweat. You cannot get that shiny from sweat.
Why are we talking about this?
Because that's what your character looks like, and we want to be precise.
Yeah, very important.
Hey, I'm not complaining. I got a massage out of this, so.
All right, Con, how about you?
Fine.
All right, they will trim you up quite nice. It's been a while since anybody's taken care of your mane and your hair. They just kind of trim it and get it nice and even across all fronts. Instead of having this wild mane that's all over the place, it just kind of like wraps around really nice and is smooth and feels actually kind of nice.
So
You're muted.
Trent.
Not you, Charles. Sorry.
I was gonna say, so Trent, are we ready to go back to the library now?
Do I need to make another knowledge nobility?
Go ahead and give me knowledge nobility. This is an exceptional difference you've made. They all look substantially better than they did before.
All right. Yeah. Now that my eyes don't like burn out just being near you guys, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. You all head back to the library, and let's go ahead and take another really quick break. And we'll be back to see what happens with the dead weight of the party. See you shortly.